addicted to crack cocaine for how long?
25 years. You sent me some spring water, and I've been clean for 5 years.
Anointing on each packet of miracle spring water that Reverend Popoff wants to send you will release an explosion of blessings in your life.
What a crock of shit.
There's a cold start for you, although it's not very cold here. It's been sitting for about a week, and you can see how easy it is. I didn't touch the pedal, nothing, that's the beauty of EFI. So, fires right up, and it runs great. So, it's been a beat. There's a few reasons for that. I'm talking kind of funny because I had surgery on Friday, so apologize if I slur my words more than usual. So, like I said, it's been a little bit, and there's a lot of reasons for that. YouTube is not a priority for me. I enjoy doing it, but I don't do it when it starts to interfere with the more important things in my life. So, but I did want to do an update. I get frequent requests for tunes for these 200s just because the bass tune is so far off. And I want to help with those, but at the same time, it's not a plug and play thing, and every engine's different. And my tune is a result of many hours of driving and testing. And so, I do want to go over a couple of things with this. Now, I haven't touched this tune since July, and the only reason I really haven't touched it since June. In July, I went ahead and transferred the learn. So that's the only real thing that I did. Today I'm going to go ahead and transfer the learn again, and I am seeing I'm pegged out at 15% in a couple of cells. That's okay. That's because this is simply an area that just never learned before, and I know what this is. I drove this car like hell to the ham radio swap meet about a week ago, and I was doing 80, 85 miles an hour, and there were some areas that were downhill, which is in the lower vacuum range here. That's why it learned so much here. It's just areas that I've been cruising in that I hadn't cruised in previously. Obviously, the acceleration areas and the high RPM, high acceleration areas, they haven't changed much because that's where I did a lot of the base learning. So this is cruise. And this is also the trip that I made out to Phi-Tech, actually. I haven't transferred the learn since I drove to Phi-Tech. So really, this could just be from that 130-mile drive that I did. So anyways, I just wanted to share that that's the only thing that's in here that hasn't changed. Or that has changed, rather. Boy, I'm making a whole lot of sense. These drugs are good. So I make a new file when I do that, when I transfer the learn. We're going to go ahead and transfer the learn to the base. Don't smooth, just transfer it. Now you can see here's my base fuel. Yeah, this funkiness is something I picked up a while ago, but it doesn't very frequently get into this area. This is about 95, 100 miles an hour right here at this vacuum in this RPM. So obviously this isn't that important. It picked up this learn data at some point, so there's something funky there. But in general, this is kind of what I expect it to look like. You know, I'm getting, like I said, I'm getting a lot of requests for bass tunes. There is some stuff that you do really want to change in here, and I think I covered that in a previous video about startup fuel and stuff. So go ahead and check those videos out, the earlier sniper videos. Maybe the last one I did, I think I covered a lot of the startup fuel and the cold start fuel. It's all way too rich, so adjust those. I do want to talk about the timing table, though, because that's the number one thing that I get questions about. This is my timing table. It's very aggressive. I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, but I rescaled this map here because this engine's only 200 cubic inches. With a small cam in it, it idles like a 350 or 400 small block does vacuum-wise with a much higher duration cam because it's only 200 cubic inches, right? It's a smaller air pump, so the proportion of duration to cubic inches is related. So, you know, 212 degrees duration is like 230 degrees duration in a 400 cubic inch small block, if that makes sense. So I had to play with the timing and the AFR and peak the vacuum. Then I understood where my vacuum wanted to be, or what the max vacuum was that it was going to make at idle. And that told me that in this particular engine, that's about 74 to 72 kPa. And, well, really, it's probably closer to 70 kPa, which is about 12 inches, 13 inches of vacuum. So this scale was way off. This scale was like 40 or something. So I rescaled this based on what this engine, what the ranges of this engine were going to be. Then that allowed me to build out this timing map. And I think I've gone over building this timing map before. I've talked about the Holley video that explains how to build this map. Do not use the base timing map. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Even Holley tells you not to use it. So, you know, you build a timing map, go learn to do it, go watch that video that Holley's got, because you're going to have to rebuild this map like 50 times before you get it right. You know, this is probably going to be close. I'm going to give this tune to somebody that, you know, cautiously, you know, you can run this, but you really got to pay attention to how it runs, because every engine's different. And this is pretty aggressive timing. So that's the news on the tune front. Like I said, I haven't changed anything. The car's running awesome. I'm loving driving it. I've got the idle pretty as good as it can be with a log head. Obviously, I've still got parts sitting around to do the port EFI on the new 200. We're down to cam selection, and Jeff is having a hard time finding a company that's even got cam cores, because we're going to do a custom grind. I believe there was a post that I made. I can't remember if I did it on my channel or if I just did it on the Vintage 6 forum, but I did do a post about Jeff flowing the head. He did flow test the head after porting, and we learned a lot. We learned that we really need to put a dual pattern cam in it with that head. The exhaust flow is really not as good as it should be. So we're working on doing a custom grind for it. So there's more to come on that. You know, the car has really been running amazing. I drive it a lot. I haven't in the last week or two, but I was pretty much dailying it to work. You know, a few other updates. I did finally get appropriate fan belts for it. I don't think I mentioned that before. A lot of what's on the market is 7/16 width, and that's not correct. These things need 3/8 width belts. So a lot of research went into that. Here's the power steering, actually. This is the size that I found to work best for this. It's a 3VX 464. This is a custom length here, 3VX 355. These are Napa belts, which are Gates. This one's longer, obviously, because I have an extension bracket for my alternator because of the header. So I did do some work on that because it was starting to chew through belts as I was driving it a lot. It was starting to wear the 7/16 belts out, so I switched those to 3/8. Other than that, I haven't done a damn thing to this thing. I just drive it. I check the oil, check the fluids, and I just drive it. And I've probably put like 2,000 or 3,000 miles on it in the last couple of months. So, it's very reliable. No problems with the sniper. I took it to a Phytech. I don't remember if I mentioned that. Well, there was a video on that. But I drove it to Phytech in 105-degree, horrible heat here in California, all the way out to Riverside and back to LA, and not a hiccup. Didn't heat on me, pulled the grades just fine. It was really very awesome to drive it out there. I drove 150 miles that day or so. So I've gotten to where I just trust it. I drive this car anywhere now. So it needs a bath. Eventually I'd like to get it painted. But it's a great driver. So, I've got it all perfect just in time to yank this motor out and do another experimental setup. Of course, let's screw with something that works. So, anywho, that's just an update for you guys. I'm not too sure how many more videos we're going to get coming out here. I'm going to try and do some more. But, it's hard to make videos when there's nothing wrong. The car's running great. Obviously, we'll do detailed videos when we do the port injection motor. We'll probably start with heading up to Jeff's and picking it up. So, anyways, more to come.